Hello guys, what's up? This is ScherBR talking. Welcome back to my channel. And this video is second part of the new tower event called Valhalla. What it is? Valhalla Vacation. Very strange name. Okay, we will be facing the last bosses of this part. We are now on the floor number 51. The rewards are not so good, but well, we'll keep cleaning to see where we get. Remember, this is not my original account. This is an account that was given to me by a friend. And it has very strong squad. You can see it's the very strong characters and a lot of good stuff. So I'm finally able to clear most content again because of his account. He has way too good characters, maxed, evolved, upgraded, and it makes for easy clear content. I know that the original account can still clear a lot of content, but sometimes it was not enough to defeat super bosses. Okay, we are facing an armadillo only with dark. It probably will inflict normal and single target damage and one AoE attack by every 2 turns. This is what this boss uses to do in normal content, or maybe he will do every turn. Or just RNG by choosing the attacks. Sometimes this boss will choose AoE or single target damage. And you can see it's very strange. This boss doesn't even have 9 million HP, it has probably around that. And we were facing bosses stronger than this one. It's just seen that his defense is very high. If you don't have very high attack, you will have some hard times. Yeah, he just buffed himself and dealt an AoE attack, but it hardly scratched my characters, simply because, like I said, this is a very strong party. Let me just try some action skill. Okay. This boss doesn't really do anything with Fuzzy. He usually just paralyzes. Or this one who blinds, I think, because he's weak to... No, he's weak to dark, not holy. Well, he usually just paralyzes. Okay, this is the stage number 51. Now 52, the rewards are still very bad, but at least this boss is weak to 2 elements. You guys will have an easy time dealing with it. Especially because these are the 2 elements that we got the most weapons in the game. Dark and Ice are the most common elements in the game, at least for weapons. There's not so many ice characters, there are dark ones. And it's Spirit of Imported Cacao Bag. Chocolate? Something like that. I don't know. And it can see that, again, this boss doesn't have more than 10 million HP. And it's a very strange being bad at that. 10 floors before this one we had a boss with 4 HP. They are probably getting more strong based on HP for defenses. Sorry, not HP, but defense. They are not dying on a single turn. Well, this one has probably 13 million. I don't know. Sometimes I can't really see the full HP. Let me just use this. Yeah, it's enough to kill it. This boss usually inflicts blind, but he didn't inflict blind to me this time. More Rainbow Keys, the worst reward I could ever have. Oh no. Okay, so now let's just face this new boss. This is a beast, a giant beast. This giant beast usually uses multi-hit attacks. He has a frost breath, and his frost breath will hit for a lot of number of hits. So it's very nice to use clouds here, or Harden won't work that well, because clouds will heal more because of the number of hits the boss inflicts. So try to bring Klaus is even the element the boss is weak to. He will probably also inflict freeze, so be careful with that. Valentine Hakuri will be very resisted here. If you have Viking Knight Alicia, Ethereal Queen, especially Ethereal Queen, you can see that actually this one is a little different. He doesn't only inflict freeze, he also inflicts blind. Yeah. Have to bring Klaus in a source of healing, maybe not bring Leon here because the element this boss is weak to. Klaus, Leon, and 2 damage dealers of the lightning element. All of this for this terrible rewards. But it's okay, this game is made so that if you're not able to get the rewards, you won't feel bad, simply because they are terrible. Now on floor number 54, we're finally getting very hard stages now. At least for the recommend mine, but it's still double the value of the recommend mine of this stage. And this one is a Gigas. You have to remember this type of bosses were one of the hardest one when the game started, simply because the buff that he could cast on for himself was the strongest of all of the challenge bosses. I don't know if this one has this, but be careful with that. And some of them also have a correct turn for you to unleash your nukes, simply because he starts very strong on the second turn because of the buff, and then he will lose the buff. Probably like on the 4th turn, we had this before. And this guy here is using Paralyzed Blades, so he can paralyze you. The first turn was a simple turn. He won't survive the second one, so I will simply use something. At least he's weak to 2 elements, easier to make a squad out of it. Well, finally a new dragon. You can call it Bahamut with an exclamation point. And that's weak to fire. This is a good moment for you to bring an Ardgreen if you do have one. Neventide Hakuri if you have one. Room Lucian if you have one. Last 2 meter if you have one. And also Snow Planet if you have one. Fire elemental damage here will help you a lot. The problem here is that we don't have any character that uses fire and heals. We don't have status element control that also uses fire. So you will have to reduce your damage output if you want to use some strategies. You can bring someone like Ethereal Queen to try to reduce the incoming damage of this character, this boss, and then just bring someone like Leon to keep the healing going. And this boss has something like 13 million HP. Still on an average on the same values that we're getting. Just remember, Awakened Planet event has the 100k recommended might stage has a boss with a 15 million HP around that. So it's more HP than this content here. Of course, you can use Awakened Lana to get more damage if you have her, but here you can't do that. Now we are facing a sorcerer with a dark element being his weakness. I don't have darkness, but I will just push through. You see, my whole squad inflict half damage, and he's still on the 6 million, so this guy here has less than 30 million. 13 million. But it's only because I don't have dark. But just look at this. He has a very high chance of inflicting blind, and he's managed to inflict blind on all of my characters. So you need to have this. Divine Knight Alicia can heal from status elements. You can also use Guard Aided, because Guard Aided is from the dark element. She will fit well here. For the original Valkyrie Alicia, I don't know. There's not that many characters that will help you here because this boss is too dark. The best one is Guard Aided. Or Dark Cena. Dark Flower Cena can also do the same. And now we're back to getting platinum hammers. We really needed this. We saw this boss before, but it was let me stop. Okay, let me stop. That doesn't matter, the purification boss. You can see that this boss here has no weakness. He is strong to all elements normal. Only non-resistant to non-elemental damage. So you have to check every one of them. They have the same properties. The thing is, the only way for you to defeat this type of bosses is to use something that can further increase your elemental damage or reduce their elemental damage. You have Sacred Compass, Ignite, or Enigma to further increase either fire, either ice, or either holy damage. We also have that fan for I'm forgetting the name of the. We have a dark element fan that can reduce the dark elemental damage of an enemy by 40%. We also have other weapons that further reduce the weakness of a boss, just like her, the Belia. This one will reduce the holy resistance. It will help you inflict more damage. But here, I suggest you guys to simply choose a single element, focusing on dealing more damage. If you have Sacred Compass and this weapon I'm using with Slow Land, here the Belia, or even Desperator, and using the two together, will give you even more damage. You will have to choose your main damage dealers. Can be Awakened Lanet if you get it, or even a Divine Ignite Wildthread, or something like that. Okay, so this is my recommendation for this fight. I will do third Belia here because you can see the enemy gets also 10% reduction on physical and magical defense. If you further try to deal more damage, you can see how the damage was better with Snow Linen. Because the even 10% increase will make a difference. Don't let these enemies attack you. Try to finishing on the first stage. This is a new strategy for you, unless you're using characters that get more action skill damage on the turn 3 onwards. So we defeated this now. We have more bosses. Okay, it's a plant weak to Holy and Dark. Okay, beautiful flower of disaster. Weak to Holy and Dark and resistant to everything else, even non-elemental. So you have to choose either one of these ones. I suggest you using the same squad you used it on the last boss, focusing on Holy damage or Dark. You have to choose either one of them. And this type of boss usually inflicts poison, sometimes blind, sometimes paralyzed. I will just use normal attacks to see if we can see his attack pattern. This one is a tough one. You can see 6.5 million HP, and we only dealt like 30% of the I think this boss has something like 80 million HP. That's quite a lot. He inflicted poison like I said. He simply inflicts more normal attack damage. Actually here, Cloud works well, or even Argreen. Argreen will be better because he chooses either physical and magical attacks, but Cloud still works wonder because Cloud can heal from poison. You don't have a way to defeat this with you either nuke or you survive with sustain by using a tank, especially Cloud like I said. You can also use L, but L would have to be equipped with the correct orb and also Avenger's Word so she can get more attack. The damage is pretty high for a simple boss like that. You can see that he inflicted some damage to my HP, and my characters have almost a capped defense. It's very high defense. Imagine without having what I have, your damage would be very high. Okay, we got a Platinum Hammer. We are reaching the end, guys, so now let's just keep going and checking stuff. Another bad stage. This dragon is weak to lightning. Okay, the rewards are terrible. When the boss is weak to lightning, it's simple, Brain, Claws, and Leon, and 2 damage dealers. Let me just use some more AP pots. I think this is enough. Okay, let's just keep going. And going. Start. Remember, I'm not using healers just because I have way too much power, but you should be using. This was one of the other hard bosses to defeat. And guys, this one used it to choose between physical and magical attack, being the magical attack the hardest one to survive, especially because it has 3 or 4 hits. It also uses it to inflict freeze. I don't know if this one will be used to do that. But it's usually normal and single target stats. If you can bring claws, you have more chances of beating that, but you have to notice if it's fight or magical. Also, just look out in the HP. It seems like this boss has something like only 8 million, but probably has quite a lot of HP. You can see here he just stoned my character. He has a different thing than before, and the attack is pretty high. Just like when we faced this guy on other towers, you have to try to debuff him if you have any way to do that, and try to bring someone that can cure this status ailment that he inflicted. You will simply use here because we have Fight Night Alicia, and then let's just keep going. Let me use the actual skill of Fight Night Alicia to see the damage. Yes, he's fine. But his defense is very high. Even the capped characters have problem dealing 2 large numbers. Okay, this is a stage that we will need to tank to survive. And not an easy one. We are reaching the end, guys. Only 3 more stages, and this one here, 60, gets Platinum Hammer, something that we really need. And let me just check again what's the element this boss is weak to: lightning and fire, and it's a demon. It's probably the one that inflicts status ailments. We all saw this before. This won't be easy, guys. I mean, it will still be easy for me, but for every one of you, I don't have that much recommended mind, but if you do, you just have the same easy way as me. But no, simply is a knight. Instead of a demon, but it uses the order of a knight, and it can revive those you defeat the first part. You see that I'm not doing anything different than normal attacks. It's not even buffed. I'm not using spell type here. 4 + 4. Probably has 15 million HP or something like that, and it will also revives. These bosses usually only use single target damage, and when they use single target damage, you have to focus on using no, this one uses AoE. The most 3 single target attacks and an AoE, and you can see how much damage inflicted to a very strong squad like mine. So tanking is needed, luck is needed, because you can't tank this type of stuff, you won't have enough time to defeat it. Claws will be good here because you can also heal back, but unless you have a very strong claws, using Iron Green may be your only chance. But if you use Iron Green, you will have to rely on getting beyond as well. You see, it's at least weak to lightning, so only one will do a lot of good damage. You can even choose to bring a Drain Soul Orb with Leon, even if you lose some power, because she will heal good values when she heals. It's very hard to rely on Drain Soul Orb, but at least it will work well here. So let me just see my Purification attack. Damage, I will sleep just to see the bar going. Well, 5 million damage with the full squad, non-buffed. When he buffed himself, there's one good thing that we can do, is that when a boss buffs himself, you can simply just use one of these attacks that you also debuff, and he will lose his buff. See? So Desperator, this weapon here as well, Hard Delia will do that. It's a good strategy when someone buffs himself, you just debuff, and the debuff will remove the buff. Well, this was the stage number 60. We are reaching the end, guys. Now it's a platinum hammer again, something that I really need. So okay, now let's just give a look on this boss. It's a dying beast and it's weak to only darkness. He revives 2 times. 2 times. The last one we saw inflicted blind, so this is maybe the case again. But well, I will just attack normally and we will see his normal attacks and if he buffs himself or something like that. At least he doesn't have that much HP by looking on this, but he do have a very high defense. You have spring buff like 12 life here, so you can at least deal more damage and sustain more damage. I'm not bringing again simply because the squad is just too strong, but you should be bringing healing. Healing may be even one of the best strategies here. Healing with buffs. The thing is, he's only weak to darkness. We don't have that many options with darkness. But you can bring your Arbiter Heart for Fukuyo to deal damage here, and Guard Melee if you have them to have one. I just killed it because I want to know what happens after this. Now he's reviving. He's still buffed. So, like I said again, look at the damage with my squad, guys. Very, very high. His defense buff, you can see here, it's only defensive. There is a shield with a sword. He is resistant to physical damage. And then, like I said, you can simply use a weapon like Desperator or Hard Delia. This will reduce his defense and thus removing his buff. And it's very nice to do that. See, he doesn't have any buff anymore. You can try to push by using full body squad with Secret Confess, Weaken Linnet, and Hard Delia or Desperator. Either wise will work here. But it will be very hard to push in this content. Okay, we just defeated it again. It will revive once more. At least he's not resistant to either Purify attack or action skill damage. Using AoE, single target. It seems to just be a very strong tank, a boss that is a tank. He is very resistant to physical damage, resistant to all other elements that is not physical. So hard to get a magical type of damage, being still dark damage. We have Shackle Elite, we have Amelia, but I wonder if Amelia is still strong and can keep up on this stage of the game. I'm not so sure if she can hold up here. But if you do have one of these characters I suggested, please tell me if you managed to defeat this boss. So okay, we now just defeated stage number 61. What do we have now? The last stage. Okay, so you see the recommend mine is 176k. Give you a title and 10 gems. 10 gems is just funny. So it's Navian, and it's weak to both ice and dark. We saw this before. It's not so hard to build squads around this. You can simply use Lagar melee if you have her as well, because she can inflict either one of these two damages. And she also can help you by cleansing status elements. But let's just see if we really need this type of stuff. I will just skip the story. Like I said, I will post this my channel after that. I don't know which day I'll post, but I'll post this. You don't have to watch this right now. So you see it's an Navian, and it has 3 bars. It's not only 3 bars, it's considered 4 bars. If you revive twice. But you can see he doesn't have all that much HP on this bar, but probably all the bars are the same. We're getting close to the half. Yeah, it's 8 million HP for each bar. 8 million HP multiplied by 4 means 32 million HP total. So this is the case where you'll be using, well, he just debuffed in my squad. And look at the damage he's inflicting. I will simply use one of my action skills and then keep attacking. You have, the best way here is just to heal him all new turn. You have to deal 8 million damage, won't be easy for everyone. But you have to inflict 8 million damage in each turn, so you have to just face 4 turns. Damage is insane. I have to check my status here. I'm not using Schweltlight, okay. But look at my physical defense. It's very, very high. And he's still dealing a lot of HP damage. He's inflicting poison. Poison again. So I will just use this. And I will use Solo Edicts. Align it with a Purify attack. And keep up with normal attack damage. I may even die here, guys. I don't think I will survive this fight, but it's because I didn't came prepared. I will simply just change my Divine Light addition to use Schweltlight, and this will probably solve this problem. Okay, so I still have to survive one more turn after this one, because he will revive yet once again. Let me just check the limited skill of Snow Maiden. I don't even remember what she does. Normal attack damage increase. I will simply try to debuff him, but it seems like that, yeah, I must be able to debuff him. If I don't die on this turn, I will be able to defeat it, but if I do, well, we have to try again. But don't do like me, don't come here without Schweltlight. You need a buff. It's too much damage. Insane HP. None of these characters of the squad has Drain Soul, so this also could have been better. Yeah, we just died here, guys. It's understandable because I didn't plan. But you can see that power is not the only answer. I was just trying to see what would happen to me if I didn't have to plan. But you can see it was this would happen. Now let's just try again. Last stage. Simple change to the squad is just to change the weapon. But the thing is, I'm not using the correct type to face this boss. He's weak to... Let me just even check that. But let me just get the Shroud like weapon. Okay. Everything else is fine. Yeah. Ice and darkness. But the thing is, the damage was not the problem. The problem was the damage I was receiving. I can imagine many people defeating this boss here right now without very much strategy, some luck indeed as well. Yeah, let's just go over here with normal damage. I will just simply use one of my no-limit action skills. Just to try to deflect the debuff, okay. You can see that actually it didn't got debuffed by physical resistance. It didn't reduce his defenses, only his elemental defense. So he's probably immune to debuffs. I was not able to defeat the first bar. That was it. My fault. Let me just raise some of the bar here. So now it felt like the damage is way lower. Okay, I can also use my limited skill with Knight Alicia. I will start by using Solo Edicts. Oh! Solo Edicts is very nice damage. So like I said before, just try to hit one bar each turn so you have to deal with less damage. I don't even think that it's a good idea to bring tanks here. Damage, it's just too high. You probably will be able to just bring a new strategy with lots of healing. Siege Valkyrie really makes a difference. And a very charged fortify attack also makes one. Just try to inflict blind if you can. I don't know if I can inflict blind to this boss because I didn't bring anyone that inflicts the status element, but if you do have Mad God Lizard is the best choice here because he's either fire or dark. Ethereal Queen is only lightning, Halloween Ethereal is only lightning as well, and Revolt the same. You can maybe try to bring Pumpkin. I don't remember the name of the pumpkin right now, but you can also try to bring him here because he's from the dark element and he can inflict status elements. Okay. Let me just finish this boss because I don't need to spend more time here. Well, reach the end, guys. We see the end of the story. If I'm not able to clear this with my original squad, this would be the first time I was locked behind the story content on the game, because it's still a story. When you finish it, there's a little story, and I want to record everything, and this may be not possible with my original account. I can see this being a very hard challenge. So guys, you can see we cleared all the stages. The last reward is just the title, it's not so important. If you can't defeat the last one, don't be sad. The best thing is just getting the platinum hammers, and that's okay. Well, thanks for watching this content. Sorry about it being so long, but it was needed so we could try to understand how this new tower works. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. And also, if you can try to support this channel by either Patreon or PayPal. The links are on the description. It will really help me keeping producing videos, because it's not so easy for me to keep doing. But I will always try to help this community by doing that. Okay? We see each other on the next video. Bye.